Whether you're riding with the Grizz, the Bobcats, or your favorite NFL team, it's time to put your sports knowledge to the test with Sportsbet Montana. Bet legally right here in state at kiosks inside your favorite local bars and casinos. Grab a drink, check the lines, and lock in your picks, spreads, over-unders, and winning parlays. Bet local, win local, and bring the action closer to home with Montana's exclusive sportsbook, Sportsbet Montana. Your game, your bets, your state. Powered by the Montana Lottery. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back. Keenan Curran is back. We are recapping Weber State versus Montana. Montana got the victory 38-17. And if you pay any attention to FCS football, 7 FCS top 25 teams lost yesterday. A couple of weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, we thought that was going to be that Saturday, because every year there's that one Saturday where it's like, yo, what's going on? That was Halloween weekend 2025. Keenan, what did you, first off, we'll start about the Grizz, and then we can get around the FCS and around the Big Sky, but what did you think about Montana's victory at Ogden? First one since 2012.
Yeah. So definitely one of those like kind of trap games, right? Weber always presents a unique challenge. They usually have some pretty big boys up front. They're usually pretty disciplined for the most part. And they just play a sound brand of football. Now I know this year they're struggling a bit. What I was most impressed by is our ability to get out and get up like quickly, right? Like that is a key for us. There's been a lot of talk throughout the season how we let people stay in the game, and then we're a second half team. We always come back where people are like, "Oh, look at Montana at half; they're still in a close game." Where this one, I felt like for the most part, the door was shut after the first quarter. Right after the first quarter, it was just kind of like, all right, yeah, we kind of know what this game is, what it looks like. And while we may have stalled a little bit in the second quarter or, in the second half, I think a lot of that was due to like us, changing some personnel, letting some other guys get some reps, and taking the foot off the gas, right? Like when you're up that quick, you don't need to show your whole hand, right? You don't need to get to trick plays. You don't need to get to some of the razzle dazzle that maybe you had in there if it were a tight game. Things to get you
Still got a lot of important football.
Still got a lot of important football, and you don't want to put everything on tape, right? Because people are scouting you every single week. And so as we get closer to that last game of the season, like you want to keep some of that stuff in the vault. So super
also,
impressed.
You got to consider that this team doesn't have a bye.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't
getting
have
as much rest for those guys is important.
Yes, for sure. So obviously Eli Gilman, like we talk all the time about this. And before the game, I put a tweet out about like, hey, who is going to cement themselves? Ty Gregorak and the other commentator for the Montana State game, we're talking about like, hey, who is the front runner for Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year this year?
Justin Lamson made a strong case yesterday, brother.
He did. And so I have to give him credit. He's very efficient. I just feel like the gap from touchdowns and yards favors Kiali, right? Kiali's got more yards than him. He's got more touchdowns than him. The one thing that Lamson has is fewer interceptions, right? And maybe a better completion percentage. But I'll say this. There have been games where our offense has needed to, and this game is an example. I guess Eli played really well too, but our offense has played through Kiali to some extent. Mm-hmm. Even you could say against Sac State, right? While he didn't have the biggest game, he had a good game in the sense that like he just delivered the ball, got it out when we needed to. I don't feel like their offense necessarily goes through Justin Lamson. I think it goes through Julius Davis and Adam Jones. Like that's just my perspective. And so can you give a guy the trophy? Can you give a guy the trophy where he is not like he's so reliant? If they're not rushing the ball well, then what?
Well, I don't think they rushed the ball too well yesterday. He did throw for like 300. Honestly, they ran it decent. They ran it all right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and they had other things that helped them. I think they had like a pick six that was like crazy long.
A thick six.
Yeah. So it's like now the opportunity that he has that could give him the edge in these next couple of weeks. That they actually have like some tougher opponents, I would say.
UC Davis.
Yeah, they got UC Davis, and they still have to play us. And then they have what's the other? Their third game is who? I can't remember off the top of my head.
But you know what I think this race is going to come down to? because obviously it's voted on by the coaches, same as the all conference picks are voted on by the coaches. I think this is going to be a race, an MVP race that is decided on November 22nd. Whoever plays better in that game is the Big Sky MVP. Whether it be Wortham, whether it be Gilman, whether it be Lamson. I think it's a 4-man race at this point. I think it's Gilman, Wortham, Ayat, and Lamson. That's the 4 candidates. I'm dead ass. It's crazy to say there's 3 on one team, but I think it's a 4-man race right now. And I think on November 22nd, whoever really, I mean, first off, whoever wins that game, I think the course. So if the Grizz win, it's going to be one of the 3. If the Bobcats win, I think it's going to be Lamson. I think, and I think I told you this. I know I told Culture this. We are going to see a close cat Grizz this year. I just know it. I just know it. I just know it, man. It's going to be a 1-score game, a 3-point game. Like it's going to be one of those 2018 type games. Obviously, we lost that, but it's going to be a real close game. I think so.
Yeah, and I think that another thing that was cool to see this game was like, I thought because people had been stacking the box lately that like, hey, Eli, not the fairy tale run is over because it's not even a fairy tale run. He's so consistent, but it was like, hey,
over 3,000.
It's going to be one of those tough ones where maybe you get, 60, 70 yards. But it became apparent, like his patience is just such a vital weapon for us because when he's going, everything else is open, right? And I know Michael Wortham didn't have like this massive game, but it's like we still passed the ball well, right? He still provided some spark for us. And I think if we wanted to go to him and get him 15 touches, we very well could have, right? And he would have had a big game. I don't think anybody like can uniquely stop him. I think he had 2 rushes and like one of them was like an exciting like 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? But it's like things like that. He had the first catch of the game and then like we didn't, I don't know if we targeted him much after that, but again, it is so hard to stop this offense.
And everybody knows that.
There's a lot that they can hit you with. We talked earlier in the season how when we get up, we tend to play other guys. I thought we did a really good job of that this game because if we go back to 2023 championship, but I think it was 2022, what happened in the national championship when Clifton got hurt?
It was 2023, 2024 national championship.
2023, 2024. Yeah. So when Clifton got hurt, right, we're just kind of like a shell of ourselves. Our offense is limited. I thought it was great to get the kid.
That's a bad example because none of the other quarterbacks have played. So that's a bad example to you.
No, this game.
Yeah.
It felt like the whole majority of the second half. 16 was in there, just kind of, and it wasn't like just hand the ball off. Like we were actually trying to run the offense and kind of see what he was capable of. So. But all in all, man, it's a good win. Really good win.
9-0. Especially, I mean, Coach Houck hit it on the nail, hit the nail on the head. I think after in his post game where he's talking about just like what you were saying at the beginning. Anybody can lose, man. Like, so yeah, sure. People want to talk about the schedule. People want to talk about, and yes, like if this team is one of the top 5 ranked teams in the country, you shouldn't struggle. But we just saw North Dakota State yesterday struggle with an unranked Youngstown State. Now, obviously, they're probably going to be ranked this week. They should have probably been in the bottom 25. But like that was an unranked team per the coaches poll and the media poll, and North Dakota State won by 8. The most points that they've given up all season long, 30. So I mean,
man,
anybody can beat anybody, man.
That one was tight, bro. And that one, literally, something happened earlier in the game. I was watching that like bouncing between games, and something happened where North Dakota State had like a big play that would have like sealed momentum, and you would expect them to just run off, right? Like it was a close game. Then they had a play, and you would expect them to just run off. And then I tune in later, and it's like a close game, right? Super close game. I think they kick a field goal. They go up 38-30 on the ensuing kickoff. I don't know if you saw it. On the ensuing kickoff, North Dakota State kicks it off. Youngstown State guy is in the end zone catching it. It bounces off his face.
Oh, I saw that. They recover it on like the 5 or something.
They recover it on, and so it's like,
yeah.
It's not like Youngstown State.
Youngstown State had 2 turnovers that turned into points.
Yes.
You can't do that against good competition.
In really good field position.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they were both within their own 20. So it's like
statistically, Youngstown State outplayed North Dakota State yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
Statistically, at home. Bro.
So it was the first time this season where they felt more like
mortal,
right? It was the first time because it was like this whole season we're like, yeah, everybody's playing for second, Everybody's playing for second, right?
Remember,
Everyone was
Bo,
like,
when you said that, though, I said, hey,
yeah,
let's pump the brakes on that. They're really good
yeah.
right now, but there's still a lot of football to be played. Mind you, they go to North Dakota this week. Now, although that team just lost,
They got something to prove. I actually think it doesn't bode super well for them because as a coach, you don't want a loss to be your learning lesson, right? You don't want to have to learn through a loss, right? If you can learn through a win, that's great. But oftentimes, if you can squeak out with a win, sometimes guys are just like, "Oh, we still won, though," right? Like we
Yeah.
still won. We're still us. Where North Dakota's coming off loss, and then I think if it's not next week, it's the following week or in a couple of weeks they play South Dakota State, who also lost.
They finished the
Like
season with South Dakota State, last game of the season.
those teams have something to prove, and they are going to feel like, man, like if we want to secure our destiny, we got to beat these guys. And they are beatable, right? They are beatable. If we don't make mistakes, they are beatable. So, shout out to Youngstown State for putting some stuff on tape that other teams can use to game plan against North Dakota State.
Man, yeah, I said that too. I think the film from that Youngstown State game is going to be really like, I think that's going to be for the rest of the season. Teams are going to look at that Youngstown State film and be like, "What did they do?" Because Bo Brungard is like their all do it all quarterback, and he 200 yards passing. He had like 30 rushing yards. Like he didn't have a crazy game, and the fact that they were in a position to win that game is crazy, man.
Yeah. And then at home, like that's the biggest thing to me, is because the Fargo Dome is heralded as this, it's the toughest place to play, and it is tough. I've played there. It is a very tough place to play. But for Youngstown State to come in and do that, and put them on their heels a little bit, and like, oh crap, we got to play. And North Dakota State really got a lucky break there with that bounce off the face mask, because who's to say Youngstown State doesn't drive the field as they were doing?
And they took a kick to the house too, on like
and
5-6 broken tackles.
Yeah, literally, it was like it was ST, I think, that won them that game.
Oh yeah. If you watch that game, you know special teams won and lost Youngstown State the game, won the game for North Dakota State, 100%.
Yeah. So,
how do you feel about the Montana defense? I know I've been the main one, the loudest one in Grizz circles talking about the Montana defense, and after what we see along the FCS landscape, I think I'm kind of more lax on that. Like, you don't necessarily need a Montana State-esque defense to win a national championship. I mean, you need a really, really good defense. You need a better defense than what Montana has shown right now. But I don't think you need like NDSU, Montana State-esque defense to win a natty. But I think you got to be better than where the Grizz are right now. What are your thoughts about the Montana defense currently?
Well, the first thing would be nice if they could just stay on sides. Yeah. I mean, like, my goodness. Like, it was back to back, like right in front of you. Like, that to me is just it's a discipline thing. And I know I spoke all last week, Montana discipline.
We got to keep it 100. We got to keep it 100 on both sides.
100, right? Yep. That was the most, and maybe they drank the Kool-Aid a little bit. Oh, we're a disciplined team, right? We beat this team.
Yeah.
Dude, you got like the ball's right there in front of you. And I get it's a product of like over aggression and wanting to
trying to get off the
apply
ball.
Pressure. Yeah, trying to get off the ball. But it's like you can't toe that line too close, right? Where you're going off sides. And it's actually a better team is taking advantage of that. Right? We're extending their drives. Not them extending their drives. We are extending their drives by just jumping off sides. So
just think about this. You've put that on film now.
You put that on film. Everybody's going hard count. And they're going to mix it up. Like, they were that's the thing. Weber it was not like they were like disguised. They were predictable with it. It was like in vital times.
It's like, he wait.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he didn't change the play or anything.
It's like on a third down where like they need the yards. And it's just like.
Yes, 3rd and 4. They're going to get 5 on an offside.
Like that to me is like football 101. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was not ideal. I think the linebacker play and our pass rush has gotten better. But I also don't think that – yeah, like I also don't think that, like, we have the best sample size because we're not going – and I don't know too much about Weber's offensive line and how they grade out. But, like, I don't know that that's the best sample size, right? Because obviously – if they had a really good line, they'd be a little bit better of a team. So I will say that we need to improve in some areas, but I've been very impressed with our ability to like get tough when it matters, and make plays when it matters, right? Because ultimately, and I hate to say this because defense wins championships, but my goodness, that offense makes things happen where it's like if you get yourself into a shootout and you get one or two, and you can manage to get one or two stops, you feel like you got a chance. It's almost like, and I say this very lightly, it's almost like when you're playing against, or the Chiefs are playing, and you're like, hey, if we could just get a stop, and the Chiefs have a good defense, right? There's been years where
now I know exactly what you're talking about. Think about Madden.
you feel like
You're playing somebody who knows how to score too. It's like, yo, I just gotta get one. Me and Maury say it all the time when we're playing Mutt. We'll play against a good team where like we're just going back and forth, back and forth. It's like, yo, we just gotta get one because one of us is playing defense, one of us is playing offense. He's like, yo, can I get one, Sam? Can I get one?
That's it. Right? I just got to get one stop because like my offense is going to be cool. My offense is going to do their job. So, which is not the norm, I think, for championship teams. But like every now and then you get a team like that, right? Where you get an ultra high scoring championship game.
That's what Coulter talks about all the time. Is 2010 Eastern Washington. They didn't have the greatest defense, but they just outscored most teams, and they ended up winning the national championship. If she's dropping hints at halftime, it's time to make that play. L&M Fine Jewelry, local, legendary, and ready when you are. L&M Fine Jewelry is the official jeweler of Akem'S Analysis and the Samuel Akem YouTube channel. They've done a great job taking care of me and my wife during our engagement process. Let them be that diamond destination for you as well. Michael and Landy, the owners of L&M Fine Jewelry, they do a phenomenal job. So go check out L&M Fine Jewelry on American Way in Missoula or on Main Street in Kalispell. L&M Fine Jewelry, your diamond destination.
Yeah, so you can get a situation like that. So I'd be excited to see that. And Sam, I wanted to say one thing. A couple of weeks ago, I had said that there was going to be a certain.
I know. They're freaking 3-6. They're not there. They're not close. They're not close. Okay, you got it.
And I got to give a lot of credit to Montana State. I mean, I looked at like they're holding teams to like nothing. Like teams are not scoring against them. They are a really, really tough team to score against.
For me, I'm going to be real with you right now. For me,
they project the best against North Dakota State.
Montana State is comfortably the second place team in the country right now for me. I'm going to be real.
Yes and no. Because yes and no. To me, yes and no, because the games you play matters, right?
They do.
The games you play matters, and you played South Dakota State at home, and you lost.
Yep.
So, say what you will.
I made that point. The way you play matters. I made that point.
Like people can say, well, the eye test. Brother, you would have been one of those guys that was saying you can't beat quarters over top. So, like, I don't trust your eye test, all right? Right? Like, so people could say, oh, they're better. They have the better defense. And it's like, great. Like, great. That's fine. They have the better defense. But, like, nobody has stopped us, right? Nobody has stopped us. And so
nobody can say they played the 2025 Grizz and walked out with a dub yet.
Exactly. And people can say that about Montana State, right? And so until the Grizz like drop a game, I can't put Montana State ahead of them because of the O, right? We got the O and they got 2. And now granted, one of them I'll say one. I'll give them one because Oregon, whatever. But they lost to a team that then now lost again, like
to a team that Montana beat.
To a team that Montana beat. So now here's what I'll say. If we get to the end of the season and Montana State wins out, Montana wins out, and Montana State beats Montana, I don't see that as a bad loss. Like, that's not a bad loss at all. It's a loss, right? And we'll just, in my opinion, we should just switch positions, right? We should go, if we're 2 and they're 3, barring North Dakota State winning out, we should go just like this. And both teams are going to get a top 4 seed, and we'll have to meet in the semis, right?
I don't like a semis meeting, man.
We're insane. Could you imagine a game in Missoula and in Bozeman in one season?
It should have happened. It should have happened in 23. The semis, they should have met in 23. Remember,
but then Bobcats, they lost.
Yeah, they lost to NDSU on a blocked PAT. It wasn't even like they were about to tie the game to go into the second over. I think it was to go into the second overtime, or was it to go into overtime? Either way, like they lost inexplicably, man.
Yeah. So, But it's great. I love it. Right. This is good for football. Part of me think so. There was a bunch of chatter on Twitter about like North Dakota State is ranked the 30th team in all of college football. Right, they're ranked above any of G6 team. They should just leave. Part of me thinks like maybe North Dakota State was like, let's play this one close. Let's play this one close so people stop saying that, so we can stay in the FCS for a little bit longer. Right, like it was getting to a point where it was like nobody wants to play them. But now it seems like, oh, they're human, right? They're humans. They're not, immortal.
They've been human. They just been playing really well.
I don't know, bro. I think that might have been a ploy. And I think some of that stuff goes on like, hey, coach, we got to play this one close, right? They're getting mad, right? Teams are getting mad. We got to play this one close, coach. And now, does that happen? No, it doesn't. But it's fun to create theories.
Man.
So another thing I wanted to ask you about. There's obviously Montana State, right? Top dogs. UC Davis finds himself in a tough position right now. Yeah. They've got a slate of games that could backfire.
And they played one less game too.
And that Mercer game, right? So it puts them in a really challenging position moving forward because they have to play Montana State, right? I'm pretty sure they still have to play Sac State.
Yeah, they that's their rivalry. The last time that they're gonna play for the foreseeable future, because they're not playing next year because Sac State's leaving the conference. Unfortunately, UC Davis wasn't able to put them on their schedule, so that's gonna be a big game, and Sac State's gonna want to win that one.
Exactly. So, when you get, the head-to-head matters, but like, man, say Sac State beats UC Davis, does Sac State sneak in, or do both teams sneak in?
Where's Sac State? What is Sac State? 4-4 right now?
They're 4-4.
5-4.
Are they 5-4? I thought they were 4-4. They just beat Eastern.
Let me go. Yeah, they beat Eastern yesterday. Let me see. Sac State is currently 3-2 in conference, 5-4 overall. So if they win out, they can finish 8-4. They'd be similar to NAU. Like NAU needs to win out to finish 8-4. The thing is, NAU doesn't have any quality wins. They lost to Montana State. Yeah. They lost to UC Davis. They lost to Idaho. Sac State might fall in the same bucket. Like now, if they get that UC Davis win, that'll be a quality win for them. Because that'll probably be a ranked win for them. And at that point, I don't know. Sac State may be ranked at that point. I don't know. There's a chance.
Yeah. And they played a more disciplined brand of football, which was great to see. Like everybody thinks Montana hates Sac State, and it's like we don't hate Sac State. It's just you guys talk too much. Right, it's one of those things that's like, bro, I don't dislike you. I don't think enough of you to dislike you. You just talk too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's got that guy that you're just like, bro, just shut up. Just shut up and let your product, let your play do the talking. Like, you're a lot of flash. And you guys are really talented, but you talk too much, bro. Yeah. Like, it's like, and I hate to use this analogy. It's like the girl that's just like, you're really pretty, but dang, do you shut up? Like, and I hate to say that. I'm not misogynistic, right? But it's just like, man, like, just be cool. Just be chill, man. Just be chill. Just be chill. You know what I'm saying? Can you just chill? Can you chill for a little bit? Like, so, Sac State, I like Sac State to make the playoffs. I think they have the talent to do it.
Yeah.
I think UC Davis, they can't stop a nosebleed with a Kleenex. Like, they are not. If Montana is on like talk defensive talk, UC Davis is writing the book on how to have a bad defense and just put up points. Like, they are not a good defense at all.
They could help themselves out a lot with some competent defense.
Man, they could help themselves out. They're really good offensively. Caden Pennick, I think, is a really, really good football player. But it becomes now there's two people at the top, and then there's this like stretch of like 3 to 4 teams. I'd say probably 3. There's UC Davis, there's Sac State.
You want to throw your Idaho boys in there?
I do. So I do, but I'm hesitant to. Because Idaho still could make a little bit of a run, but they are 2-3 in conference because of those 2 games. That
they can finish 7-5 at best, which may not be good enough to get in the playoffs.
But is it good enough to get in? Here's a scenario for you. Is it good enough to get in if they beat NAU at NAU, if they beat UC Davis this weekend, which then hurts UC Davis going against Sac State Sac State the last game. If they beat Sac State at Sac State, and then Sac State beats UC Davis, and then they win against Idaho State, which Idaho State beat UC Davis. So there's a lot of, I think they could, but at the same time, right now they are, they're 4-5. So same thing, they'd be 7-5,
yep,
right?
At best.
And it would put a bunch of teams at 7 and it would put UC Davis at 7-4.
Yeah, with the
because we don't know what the Mercer game, right? It would put Sac State at 7-4, and it would put Idaho at 7-4, with Idaho getting the bump over UC Davis and Sac State. So there's a path. And I know it's not what everybody likes because they're like, oh, they don't pass the ball well, right?
So you're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a chance. So, but if I were to be honest with you, the way that everybody else is playing, like, does the Big Sky give five spots?
Absolutely not. The Big Sky is barely going to get 3 right now. It's barely going to get 4 right now. 4 right now. Excuse me.
Why?
I think they comfortably get 3. I don't even know about 4. Bro, Northern
we're
Arizona.
Cannibalizing ourselves.
Northern Arizona losing really hurts the conference. Really, really hurts the conference. Like I said it just a minute ago. They haven't won any meaningful football. They just haven't. They lost to Montana State. They lost to UC Davis. Now they lost to a currently below 500 Idaho. That is not a good look, brother. Now they may, at best, they can finish 8-4 if they win out. But still, at best, that is not a strong resume, man.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a thick bubble this year. Like, I think the bubble of teams that are like 8-4, 7-5 is gonna be thick, man. There's gonna be a lot of teams who are deserving, because you got to think about, ACU, who beat the number 2 team in the country yesterday, was 500. They were 4-4, and they are for sure gonna be. If they went out, they are for sure gonna be a playoff team. You can't keep a team that beat the number 2 team in the country out of the playoffs, man.
Well, it's a nightmare, bro. It's just like, I would not want to be one of the people voting for the playoff spots. Like, that to me doesn't seem like a very fun job. I mean, the Missouri Valley Conference, let's look at obviously they've got a
bunch of teams who are going to finish 8-4, 7-5. Yeah. South Dakota beat North Dakota yesterday. They're still in the hunt.
South Dakota's 4-2 in conference. North Dakota. So let's go through this. North Dakota 6-3. South Dakota 6-4. South Dakota State 7-2. Illinois State 6-3. Southern Illinois 6-3. Youngstown State, who just put up a game, 5-4.
5-4, yeah.
And their remaining schedule is Southern Illinois, Indiana State, Youngstown State, Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, it's actually crazy. South Dakota, okay, they just had a big win. But now they play South Dakota State and Southern Illinois. So they're in a similar spot where they're cannibalizing themselves a little bit. I still think they'll get four bids. I mean, maybe.
They could. No. I think 4 is a good number for them. But it just
North
depends who's going to make it out. Who's going to make it out?
North Dakota State realistically could finish 7-5. Do they get in at 7-5?
You mean North Dakota?
North Dakota.
I don't know if they do, brother. I don't know, because at this point, you start looking at the wins. Who have they beat? Are you looking at their schedule? Who have they beat?
They beat Portland State, Valparaiso, Northern Iowa, Youngstown State, and Southern Illinois. And then Indiana State.
And Southern Illinois are the 2 good wins.
They beat Indiana State. That win is aging well.
But seriously, Youngstown State and Southern Illinois, those are like the only 2. That's North Dakota you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the 2 wins right there. That they got to hang their hat on. And if they can get NDSU and South Dakota State, but if they don't win either of those,
okay, so with that logic, who has South Dakota State beat?
Montana State.
Yeah, that's it.
Look at you.
That's it. That's all it needs.
Yeah, but fair. You're fair. Very fair. They haven't beat anybody else. They haven't really beat
anybody else. They just lost to Indiana State. They got smoked by North Dakota State.
With a backup quarterback, brother.
They have another tough game coming up right now with South Dakota. And then they play North Dakota at the end of the season.
Yep.
So, and they play Illinois State, who are no scrubs.
No scrubs at all. Tommy Rittenhouse.
Like, bro, it is
it's prime time in FCS football right now.
It is. And you know what I hate to see is like one of those like bad teams that are not in the top 2 conferences sneak in. You're like, oh yeah, we got in because we.
I'm not gonna lie, Keenan. Now you kind of sound a little elitist, man. You sound a little elitist, man.
Low key.
Nah, because I hate that at the FBS level. I hate that the Big Ten and the SEC run the freaking college football playoffs. Stop that shit. Everybody deserves an opportunity. I can go about this, man. I hate that.
Okay,
I hate.
So
that.
last year's no. Okay, so let's look at last year's college football playoff. College football playoff last year. How many of those games were blowouts? Right? Who got in? There was like a group of 6 team that got in and just got smoked.
Boise was the group of 6 team that got in, and they played Penn State.
And they played Penn State, and what was didn't they got smoked, didn't they?
I don't think it was a smoking, but I think they lost like by two
Let's
scores.
See.
By 2 scores.
Okay, first round, right? SMU got in, right? From the Big 12?
ACC.
Oh, the ACC? 38-10.
Who'd they play? Penn State? Was it Penn State?
They played Penn State. Then Boise State got a bye.
Yep.
And they were the number 3 seed.
3 seed.
What was the score of that game?
31-14. I think they lost by like 2 scores. What'd you say, 21-14?
31-14.
Ooh.
Right? It held true, bro. Like, the semifinals had Big Ten, SEC, Big Ten, Independent.
Who's the Notre Dame? Notre Dame, yeah.
And those were decent games. Texas, Ohio State wasn't great, but
I don't care, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Everybody deserves an opportunity, bro. Like, I don't want to see a playoff with just Missouri Valley and Big Sky. I don't. No, I want the NEC in there because there's going to be that year that the NEC has a fucking dog in Central Connecticut or Mercyhurst, or somebody's going to be a dog, and they're going to come in. Yeah. And like the so-called, bro, no. Think about this right now. The UAC in 2024 got 3 playoff teams in. They got Abilene Christian, they got Tarleton, and I'm going blank. I think it was Eastern Kentucky, the last 3rd team that they got in. 2 out of the 3 teams made it to the second round. This year, Tarleton State is a top 5 ranked team in the country because of the momentum that they built last year.
Still?
Bro, I'm just saying, everybody deserves an opportunity. I hate you. Me and you are going to have to battle on this, bro. You're an elitist. Sure. You're an elitist.
Let me ask you a question. Does Abilene Christian beat UC Davis?
I think there's a strong no dead ass. I'm thinking about it because it's a good question. It's a very good question. I wouldn't say definitively that UC Davis is that much better than
okay.
But think about UC Davis was in a close game with Mercer.
Does Abilene Christian beat Sac State?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
No, they don't.
Bro, come on, bro. Come on.
They don't.
You're asking the Abilene Christian. Why don't you ask about Tarleton, the 9-1 team?
I don't think Tarleton beats Sac State if Sac State plays a clean game. I'm a fan. I think Sac State is a good team. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Sac State is actually a good team.
Putting you in a tough position.
I think that they just did not play their best brand of football. And to me, if I talked about this last week, if Brennan Marion turns out to be who I think he is and who I think he's going to become in the college football world, right? I think that he is going to look back on that game against Montana, even though he cried a little bit about the refs, right? The refs are unfair, right? I don't think that he was crying in their locker room. I don't think he was crying in their meetings. I think he was coaching them up in the meetings. And I think he was on their tail and saying, we can't do this. Everybody, the narrative is we're undisciplined, right? Yeah, let me talk about this. I'll talk about it. I'll be the face of whatever. I'll take the $10,000 fine. I think that this is going to be something that he hangs his hat on as like a pivotal moment in his coaching career of like, I have to coach my team to be very disciplined. right? And we can win because it didn't even seem like that was a close game. They played at Eastern, which we know the Inferno is not a fun place to play. I don't like playing there. It was probably raining. It was like, again, not a fun place. And that didn't seem like a very close game. You know what I'm saying? Not to say Eastern was good, but it didn't feel like a very close game. And I think that if they continue to dominate, now we'll see how they play against Idaho, right? And we'll see how they play against UC Davis. But, bro, I think Sac State is going to be a sleeper team that slides into the playoffs, even if it's at the cost of the people that I like at Idaho, right? I think that they beat Idaho, they get into the playoffs purely because they can run the ball really well. They're super deep.
Bro,
right?
Did you see Sac State yesterday?
Yeah, they're super deep, bro.
3 for 6, 15 yards and an interception. That's their passing stats from yesterday.
I don't know what Montana was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what Montana was doing where, like, Sac State can run the ball.
They don't want to pass it. They don't want to pass it.
But they showed that they were capable of passing it. Just don't press them. Just don't press them. Yeah. Just don't press. That's the recipe. Don't press number 13. Go.
Bro, I can't even look at you the same, bro. You're an elitist, man. Like, you think the best football in the world is reserved for the top conferences. That's not true.
No, here's what I think.
If I'm undefeated, if I'm 11-1, I deserve a seat at the table to show that I belong.
I think that there's this unique situation with the Big Sky where they have teams, and it's similar to the Missouri Valley Conference, part of it. There are no other teams in North Dakota or South Dakota other than those 2 state schools. There are no other teams in Montana other than those 2 state schools. There's NAIA schools. Yeah, great. But, like, everybody wants to go to Montana, right? Then you have this faction of California schools. California is overloaded with talent, right? Overloaded with talent. They just have so much talent, right? Whereas, and it's like, okay, you could go to Fresno State. You could go, like, she's not really playing for anything. Or you can go to Sac State and you can be ultra talented at Sac State and maybe compete for something, right? Stanford stinks right now. Okay. Cal is decent.
ACC.
Yeah, Cal's decent, but they recruit like everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, these other schools and other places, they're in places where like football rules and people don't want to go to an FCS school. And that's not a knock on the FCS. It's like Tarleton. Would you rather go to North Texas or would you rather go to Tarleton? Would you rather go to SMU or would you rather go to Tarleton?
You're using North Texas this year as the example. Previous years, some people might want to go to Tarleton.
I bet people would rather go to Baylor. I bet people would rather go to TCU. I bet people would rather go to, Texas A&M, UTSA even. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
over Tarleton? No. If you have an offer from Tarleton, you have an offer from UTSA, and you take UTSA, you're a dummy.
We may think that, but they also are going to say, oh, well, UTSA is FBS, right? It matters to them.
And what, the Conference USA playing for what? The freaking Hydro Flask Bowl every year? Like, yo, you're not playing meaningful football. And that's why they need to expand the college football playoff so everybody can get a seat at the table.
But I'm just telling you, is like there's an oversaturation of other good teams. And it's easy to look good when like you're not playing really good FCS teams. And that's what I think it is they're not playing really good FCS teams. We're in Missouri Valley. We just talked about we're cannibalizing ourselves in the Missouri Valley and the Big Sky because we actually have pretty good FCS talent. It's why we're always in the freaking national championship.
Bro, let's be real though. And I talk about this with the SEC all the time. So I'm gonna keep the same energy that I do with the FCS, with the FBS that I do with the FCS. Was NAU the 19th ranked team in the country? Let's be real. It's the bias that I talk about all the time, and it stems from the preseason polls. NAU was a top 15 team in the preseason polls. So throughout the season, they're going to garner a higher level of respect. It's just like people always talk about with the SEC. Oh, well, the only reason the SEC gets all the teams in playoffs is because we're playing all the ranked teams. Yeah, because they're in the preseason rankings. They're in the rankings all the time. So they're higher than most of the teams so that as the season goes on, you're like, oh, they started as a preseason fifth ranked team. But like, aren't they the 5th ranked team in the country? Are they?
Who did they lose to just this last weekend?
Who are you talking about? NAU?
Yeah.
Idaho, an unranked team. Exactly.
Another team. Yes, but Idaho is. You want to know? Sam, I've been talking about this. You want to know why Idaho's unranked? Because the quarterback got hurt for 3 games. He was gone for bye week and 2 games. That's why they lost those games. If
That's
they
fair.
had just continued on, right? He got hurt against Montana, then he didn't play for bye week, 2 more weeks. If he had played those games, they win those games.
Man, they're probably
And they're
what?
still
They're
ranked.
probably two losses turn them to wins. That's probably 6-3 right now.
They're ranked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that is part of the whole thing of like we have good teams. Where the other conferences, I feel like they're, I don't know. I just don't feel like they really hold as much weight because there's so many other places that these people could go. And that's why I think South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Montana State, those 6 teams, like you're not surprised if they're in the FCS National Championship.
Elitist Keenan Curran, man.
No,
He only wants the
comes
playoff
around
to be for the best of the best.
No, look, and then a good coach comes around to one of the schools outside of there, like Brennan Marion, right? And he wills that program to something really good, and then someone poaches him, right? Jay Hill, the reason Weber State sucks is because, Jay Hill. And where's Jay Hill at now? Jay Hill's at BYU. Where's BYU at? They're a top 10 team.
Facts. Are they still undefeated?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're a top 10 team. And then, okay, so there was a stretch there for a couple years when North Dakota State didn't have the rain. Who had the rain? When we were in college, who was just dominating FCS football?
Weber State.
No? Well, yes, they were dominating the Big Sky, but the bigger landscape of FCS football. His team's pretty good right now, and he's left there.
Where?
James Madison.
Yeah.
When you get a really good coach, he can bring your school to prominence, right?
They top 2 right now.
You're only going to have them for a couple years.
Yeah.
And then you got to try again. You got to find a new formula, which Weber State's trying to do right now. It's not working, right?
Yeah.
Kurt Signetti's, his program works. What he does works. So now he's
Google me, baby. I win.
So again, I think that we're going to see one of the Dakotas, Montanas, maybe both in the national championship. And because, bro, I think it was okay. Think about the top 5 prior to this week. It was who? North Dakota, NDSU, Tarleton,
Montana State, SDSU.
Who was number 5?
Well, SDSU and MSU were tied at 4.
And then people could have made the argument for North Dakota at 6.
Yep.
So it's like, that's not, I mean, we're not just being biased. Like, those are the best teams, bro. Yeah. Those are the best teams. Yeah. So their conferences, again, should get a little bit more, like a loss should not count as much as a loss, like Tarleton losing to ACU. Like, I'm like, what?
You're saying a loss in the Big Sky or Missouri Valley shouldn't hurt you as bad in the rankings as a loss in the UAC does for a Tarleton or an ACU?
Yes.
Because the competition is lesser.
Yeah, I think they won, and on a good year, 2 bids.
They had 3 last year.
It would not be, I would not fret at the Missouri Valley and the Big Sky getting 4, and on a good year, 5 bids.
For both conferences?
Yeah.
No.
Make it interesting. I promise you, make it interesting. Like, have these other teams.
Oh, that is dumb. I hate that.
You have 14 other spots. There are not, because how many FCS conferences? The SoCon?
I think there's like 13, and I think like 11 play in the playoffs because the SWAC and MEAC usually maybe they might get a team or 2, but it's like 11.
Yeah, so here, I'll say this. My concession will be, I would say 4. Maybe I would cap it at 4 each, because that leaves you with 14 other spots. I don't know that anybody else's second place team is going to come to our conference or the Missouri Valley and really be a top 4 team.
Second place team?
Anybody's second place team. Like, who's...
Let me think. Let me give me a second. Southern. The Southland. The CAA.
Bro, like, I'm not just being biased. I'm being honest.
Yeah, Coastal Atlantic. Okay, who you got in here? You got Villanova, Rhode Island.
Nope.
Rhode Island's probably second place in the CAA because you got Monmouth at first. I don't
Yeah.
know. You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. But
So
you moving the go. You saying second place team? What about the first place team?
the first place team gets an auto bid.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, every conference should have a first place team get an auto bid, right? But that's why the SEC and the Big Ten get all these teams in, because it's like, hey, your second place team in the Big 12, they're gonna probably be one of the bottom 6 teams in the Big 10. They're probably gonna be one of the worst teams in the SEC. I'm just being honest, right? Like last year, it was like who got it from the who got it from the Big 12? Was it
Yeah, but Arizona State.
Arizona State?
Yeah, Sam
And
Levitt. Scatterbo.
and what happened to them?
Wait, what'd you
They
say?
got a bye. Arizona State got a bye, and then went against Texas and lost.
Go ahead.
Said Arizona State got a bye, and then went against
against
Texas and
Texas.
lost. So yeah, I'm elitist because I think that the best teams are
You
concentrated.
were talking
in
about
Missouri
Texas.
Valley
You
and
talking
the
about
Big
Texas,
Sky.
Arizona State, weren't you?
Texas, Arizona State. Texas finished first team in the Big 12. They got the bye. Then they go
SEC.
against Texas.
You talking about Arizona
lost.
State finished first in the Big 12?
Yeah. Arizona State. Then they went against Texas and lost. Right. Same thing for the ACC. ACC had
SMU, and they had Clemson. Clemson, I think, lost in the first round, and SMU, I think,
no,
also
Clemson didn't
did.
make it. Clemson, there was like controversy because Clemson was first out. People were like, "What? We should have made it."
And
But
SMU was the ACC team in.
and they lost
Wasn't there
to
another
the
ACC?
SMU lost to the who was the first team in the Big 10? Oh, it was Oregon.
Oregon. No, but Oregon had a
Right.
bye.
Yeah, so they were the first team in the Big 10.
Right. And SMU lost to Penn State, huh? In the first
Yeah.
round. Yeah.
And
Dang.
so here's how it went. Okay, so the first team in those other conferences, the Big 12 and the what is it? Big 12 and ACC. No, because who was SMU was first in the ACC.
Yep.
Well, anyways, the first place team in those leagues lost to the second place teams in the SEC and the Big 10.
Man, I don't care about that, man.
Clemson did make it. Clemson made it. They were the second. So Clemson was the second place team
Yeah.
in the ACC,
ACC, yep.
and they lost by 2 touchdowns to the second place team in the SEC.
Who was it Georgia, Bama?
Texas.
Texas.
And then the
Texas
first place
did
team in the
lose.
Big 12, lost to the second place team in the SEC. You know what I'm saying? And Alabama was the first team out, right?
Yeah, they were real
Alabama
salty
beats
about
Arizona
that.
State. Alabama beats Arizona State. That's the third place team in the SEC.
They beat them on paper. Unfortunately, the game is played on grass. Come on.
Yes, you're right. But to my point, these big conferences cannibalize themselves because they're so good. So
know,
if
man.
the playoff were to expand, then yeah, I agree that they should get
I'm
a
pro little
bit more
guy.
votes.
I'm pro little guy.
You are pro little guy, but I'm sorry. It doesn't check out. It doesn't check
The
out.
math ain't mathing.
It don't check out.
Like I'm pro Duquesne getting in. I'm pro Southland. Like the Southland might be a 3-bid league. The Southland might be a 3-bid league.
What? Just like here's the thing. Just to go to Bozeman and get roundhouse kicked in the face.
Yeah, but they got an opportunity, which is what everybody.
That sounds like a participation trophy. Like I don't
Oh
want just
my gosh, man.
Maybe they should go. Maybe they should develop an NIT tournament for the FCS. Because, bro, I don't want to turn on the game and it's over by half. Like that's not good for FCS rankings or ratings, right? That is not good. Like let's let it be competitive. Let us get, that's why the SEC has this stronghold and the Big
You
Ten
can
has this
see an
stronghold.
MVFC team get blown out too, though. Like what happens when you see a UAC team blow out the second best team, the second best UAC team blow? So think about this last year. No, Keenan, think about this last year. Literally, UAC got an ACU. I think ACU was like 8-4 or 7-5 or 7-4 or something like that. They had like 7-8 wins. They played NAU. NAU didn't put up a point. What say you?
Yo, Tara, what up, E?
What's going on? Man, those are some nice medals.
Yeah, man, these are hard to come by.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 of them.
Well, that's nothing like going to March Madness, though.
We did go to a national championship.
Okay, guys, whatever. Let's just get on the Montana party bus and head over to Press Box for lunch.
Yeah.
Nuanez Now and Skyline Sports, covering Montana athletics and the Big Sky Conference better than anybody. The Montana Party Bus and the Press Box are also proud supporters of Montana athletes.
Hey, cheers to you guys, man. Cheers to Montana. Cheers to chasing more championships.
So who was the other second place team in another conference? So because NAU must have been what?
Let's look at the 2025 playoff bracket. 2024 FCF playoff bracket. And I'll tell you exactly. Hold up. This is this year. No, let me find last year. Because they usually post pictures. Okay, is it right here? Hold up. Let me see. South Dakota, North Dakota State. Who played in the Natty last year? That was 2022. Let me see. Bro. Man.
North Dakota State won.
No, they won. I'm just looking for 2024.
Sam Houston moved up, didn't they?
Huh?
Sam Houston moved up, didn't they?
Yeah, they're Conference USA now. Okay, here we go. Okay. Idaho. Oh, no, that's not good. Okay, wait. Let me find one. Here, I can't share this. Okay. Second, so you're talking about a second place team that won against one of the Power 2 conferences in the FCS.
Yeah. Bro, this is okay. I got a stat for you after this.
Go ahead, say it now. It's not looking good over here.
Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the last 7 years, how many teams outside of the Missouri Valley Conference or the Big Sky have played in a national championship?
In the last 7? So what's that goes to like 2018?
That goes to 2018.
And you said that
No. Actually, let's go back. Let's go back 9 years. So let's go 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024.
And you're saying a team outside of the MVFC or Big Sky that's played in the Natty?
Yeah. How many?
16, 17, you got James Madison. So I'm going to say 1. Sam Houston State 1 in 2021. So that's 2. Shoot. I'm going to have to spitball it because I'm not very good. I'm going to say like 4 to 5 teams.
No, you were right first. 2.
2? What? What?
So, bro, bro, and if I went to 2015 to be Jacksonville State too. 2016 was James Madison against Youngstown State. James Madison.
And wasn't Jacksonville State the Missouri Valley at that time, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so 2016, Youngstown State, James Madison. 2017, James Madison, North Dakota State. 2018, North Dakota State, Eastern Washington. 2019, North Dakota State, James Madison. 2020, Sam Houston, South Dakota State. 2021, Montana State, North Dakota State. 2022, South Dakota State, North Dakota State. 2023, South Dakota State, Montana. 2024, North Dakota State, Montana State. I mean, what's the point of just participating if you really don't have a shot?
No, they weren't MVFC. They were WAC, like Ohio, the OVC. But anyway, still. Still.
So it just proves my point of like, I mean, that they were OVC, and then you go to 2014, North Dakota State, Illinois State.
So you're saying we stuff it with MVFC and Big Sky teams because nobody else is even going to be able to have an opportunity to win it. Like, why are we going to waste our time?
More or less. I mean, to make it competitive. Like you also want to think like, is this going to be a good game? Right? Is this going to be a good game? Like, I don't want to just put a team out there. I at least want it to be competitive, right? Like, the Pioneer League gets a team every year. How do they do?
Look.
When's the last time a Pioneer team won?
You said what?
When's the last time a Pioneer team won?
I don't know if they have a natty. They don't even have scholarships, bro.
Exactly.
Like, they played. I think one of them played. They played Tarleton last year.
There would be
they lost 43-29.
There would be no point for us to put them a second place team in that league into the playoffs. There would be no point for us to put a second place team in most of these leagues into the playoffs because it's like, do they really have a shot?
Man, I'm not liking where you're coming from.
I know it sucks. I know it's tough to hear, and I know I'm gonna get some flack for that, but we got to be honest, right? Like, we really have to be honest about this. Like, you really don't have a shot, and so there's the haves and the have-nots. We talked about that. There's the haves and the have-nots. There's people that are really good in the FCS, and then there's just a big like every year each conference.
I'll say this since you're on this elitist push. I think there's few teams that NAU and Idaho, UC Davis, NAU and Idaho. I'm not going to include UC Davis, but I'll say Idaho and NAU. I think there's few teams in the top 25 that NAU and Idaho can comfortably beat.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's look at the top 25 right now. Because I feel like...
I got it pulled up right here. You talking about last week's top 25?
Yeah, top 25 FCS rankings.
It's going to change up a lot this week.
NAU was 21.
Yeah.
NAU beats Austin Peay. And I can say that because they just lost.
They lost to Southern Utah. Southern Utah almost beat Tarleton.
Exactly my point, Sam. Exactly my point.
Idaho State almost beat Montana.
What? Okay. What was... you're proving my point more. The Big Sky is actually competitive. When Southern Utah was in the Big Sky, what were they?
They won a Big Sky championship.
Like once. They were a bottom feeder for majority of their existence.
Yeah.
We beat Sam. We beat them 57-14.
That boy had to look at the game ball
right here. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like we beat them handily. And now they're going out and competing with other schools. They're coming back next year, aren't they?
Yeah, they're coming back. Them in Utah Tech.
Okay, so UC Davis, right? Someone said, "Oh, UC Davis isn't that good, right? They just lost to Idaho State." What was the score of the UC Davis Mercer game when it ended?
They were up by a score.
Mercer's ranked 13th. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but Mercer had the ball and they were coming back. So
coming back, that means they were down. That means they were down, right?
Hey man, things happen. Things happen.
So my thoughts are like Lehigh's in the what? What conference is Lehigh in?
Patriot. You
want the second place Patriot team to play?
Nobody in the Patriots getting in outside of Lehigh. They will be the only team out of the Patriot.
You know what I'm saying? So it just shows that, like, hey, the best teams are in the Big Sky in the Missouri Valley. And I'm sorry to the second place team and all these other conferences, but, like, you would come to our conference and you would be maybe the sixth place team.
So then let me ask you this. And I know we're coming up against it. Would you entertain a world where, similar to the FBS, a lot of the good teams in the FCS are coming to the Missouri Valley and Big Sky? Would you want that?
Either that or we have another regional conference that really garners some,
Used to be the CAA. Like, everybody's leaving out there.
Concentrates. Yeah. And that's the problem. It's like the CAA, is that what James Madison was in?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like you got to have one of those rise up. You got to have a conference that's like, hey, we're going to invest into trying to bring really good teams, maybe in the East, where they bring the really good teams together in the East and they can compete with one another. And maybe they get, a second and third place team get a bid. But you can't, like, if it's just your top team that runs through the conference that makes it to the playoffs, more likely than not, they're not going to win the championship because they're not facing tough competition each week. We face tough competition every week. People were saying, man, this is a tough game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're 3-6, bro. They're 3-6, bro. That should not be a tough game in any other conference. It's like, oh, they were rolling. Yeah. But it's because it's a Big Sky. And it's like, oh, that's a good game.
Nah,
good game.
I don't know who was saying we was a tough game. I did not say that.
This historically, that's happening. But like, that's my point. It's like, dude,
it's tough out here. It's tough out here. But I get. So I would concede and give you that. Yes, the better football is played in the Big Sky and the Missouri Valley. 100%. I agree with that. But
yeah,
this notion that each conference deserves 4 or 5 teams in there over more deserving teams, I disagree with that. Because if there's an 8-4 Southland team with a better resume than a 7-5 Idaho, I want that 8-4 team in there. I don't want to squeeze Idaho in there for the sake of quality football. Like, I want teams who deserved it. Like, because I think about Florida State. Florida State got hosed, man. Say what you want. Florida State got hosed a couple of years ago when they were undefeated. Don't give me that freaking look, bro. They were undefeated. They beat every team. Imagine Montana loses Ayat. They're undefeated, and they don't get the 2 seed because Ayat's hurt. You would feel very disrespected. You would feel extremely disrespected.
I would also be like, their starting quarterback's hurt. Is this going to be a competitive game? And then furthermore, I would look at the bowl game.
Come on, bro.
I would look at, oh man, like, okay. The case for that to be like corrected the following year would have been that they went to their bowl game and they dominated. What happened in their bowl game?
Nobody played. Nobody played.
They played UCF, but that was their chance to say, hey, we're going to win this game and we're going to have an undefeated season.
I'm finna go make $50 million. I'm not playing in this dumb bowl game.
They played UCF and they got.
Bro, nobody played. They had Jared Verse, who was he first rounder? He was first rounder.
Yeah.
He didn't play in that game. A whole bunch of other players didn't play. I think Braden Fisk was on that team as well. Not Braden Fisk. I think there was a D line.
Yeah, him and
Jared Verse.
Him and Jared Verse.
Yes. Neither of them played, bro. That's 2 players alone on the D line. They had a bunch of other players like that, bro. You would be it's so funny. I'm spitting. I'm so serious about this. You talk about, imagine if a Grizz player got hurt and then they got kept out of the top 2 seeds because their player was hurt. You would feel disrespected, bro.
But that's the thing, is like, that's not going to happen. But we see that when the Grizz had their run and they were really, really good in 23, 24, when Clifton got hurt, we were not competitive for majority of that championship game. It was not like I was there. And it was just, it felt like we were bleeding out slow. Right, yeah. It felt like we got stabbed a couple times and we're just laying there on the ground, just bleeding out slow. Yeah. That's what it is, bro. Like, I hate to say that, but I want to watch competitive football. I don't want to just watch us bleed out on the ground and just like, oh, we're taking our lumps.
But then you have a game like last year in the second round of the playoffs where you get a Tarleton that goes up to Vermilion, that's South Dakota. They play a really competitive game, man. Really competitive.
Competitive is a nice way to say they lost. bro. That's a nice way to say they lost, man.
Bro, there's so many examples. I have the bracket put up right here. Let me see. I'll tell you. Okay, so Incarnate Word beat Villanova 13-6. Villanova's in a maybe CAA power conference, maybe. They beat them.
Yeah, you just said that everybody's leaving CAA.
They are. But Villanova's still there. And then, okay, you got Villanova, Eastern Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky was competitive against Villanova. 17-22, they lost. But 17-22.
We're talking about Villanova.
Let me see.
You're not saying like a powerhouse. Like, what happens how come they don't do like home and homes with North Dakota State? How come they don't do home and homes with, what happens when they do a home and home with Montana? When one of those teams comes and does a home and home with Montana? doesn't usually fare out well for them.
Think about this. Central Connecticut was competitive against the CAA champion, NEC, Rhode Island from last year. They won 21-17.
What happened to Rhode Island in the playoffs?
What do you mean? What do you mean what happened to them? They lost eventually.
Who'd they lose to?
They lost to Mercer 17-10.
Who did Mercer lose to?
They lost to North Dakota State 31-7.
So that's what I'm saying is like it is competitive amongst them, but when they come up here, it's not competitive anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say is like
they are competitive with everybody else, but then when they play the Big Sky in VFC, it's like
when they play the Big Ten and the SEC, they're not competitive anymore. Great. Be competitive in the ACC. Great. Be competitive in the Big 12. Great. Be competitive in the, Mountain West. Cool. It's awesome for you guys. I'm so happy for you. Then you're going to come run into this buzzsaw. Right, you're going to come run into this buzzsaw, and then everybody's going to be like, oh, next year. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, people talk about us playing. Bro, Tarleton fans talked about us playing Central Washington. And here's a hot take, and it's not even a hot take. Central Washington will go into one of those conferences and easily be one of their top 3 teams. Damn. Easily. Easily. North Dakota State or Central Washington's only loss is Montana this year.
I was about to say, they haven't lost since in Missoula, right?
They're a top 10 national D2 team.
If you want to look at the semis from last year, let's see, where are the semifinals? You had North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana State, South Dakota. If you look at the quarters, you have Montana State, Idaho, North Dakota State, Mercer. You had South Dakota State, Incarnate Word, and you had UC Davis, South Dakota.
Bro, so am I really elitist? Like, am I really elitist? Nah. Or is like history telling the story of, hey,
history kind of tells the story, but I mean,
right? Because that's how many. Okay, so that's how many teams in the Big Sky and Missouri Valley Conference in that 8-team.
8-team out of 8. There's two that aren't Big Sky MVFC teams in the quarterfinals last year. 6 out of 8. Yeah.
So 6 right there. That's 3-3 in the quarters. Sam, yeah. That's 3-3 in the quarters. That right there is already
I guess I'm not so much mad about I do despise the elitist mindset, but more so it's just like, man, it's boring. Like, can we have somebody else get better? Like, can somebody get good?
I'm right there with you, bro. I want them to be good, but like, it's not on us. We can't control that.
You're right.
And until they do show that they are better, we have to put good teams in the playoffs.
I still disagree with that, though, because you're never going to know if they're going to be good unless you get them opportunity.
Look at history.
Tarleton, if they don't get 3, if the UAC doesn't get 3 teams in last year, we don't know that they're a quality conference. Point blank, period.
Are they, though?
I think so. I think the UAC is a quality. I think the UAC.
How many teams did they have in the quarters?
Bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, bro, I don't see that as quality. I see like fringe, like you're fringe, like you almost are good, but like
they got 3 teams in the playoffs. That's more than any other conference.
More than any other conference outside of the Big Sky and Missouri.
Yes, obviously, yes, yeah.
Okay. But that rotates. That's like, oh, it was the USC this year, and then maybe next year it's like another league, and then maybe next year it's another league. Yeah, so like to me that rotates because it's like it's never gonna be one. It's just gonna be like, oh, what team has the biggest?
I guess the
outlier?
CAA actually, the CAA had 1, 2, 3. I think they had 4 last year. The CAA might have 4 last year.
And how'd those teams pair out?
Villanova made it to the second round. New Hampshire lost in the first round. Rhode Island made it to the second round, and Richmond lost in the first round. So none of them made it past the second round.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. I'm gonna live by it. I'm gonna die by it.
We'll see the rankings this week.
We'll see the rankings, and I guarantee, like, it's gonna hurt some people's feelings. But I would like. I still think that South Dakota State is a top 15 team, right? Like I still think that. I still think North Dakota State is, or I still think North Dakota is a top 25 team.
I think at best you can put South Dakota State at like 11,
16?
12 right now, brother. 15, 16.
Okay.
Like, I think at best 11, 12. I don't think they'll be there, but I think at best they're like 11, 12. Because, I mean, back-to-back losses is nasty, bro.
So does Sac State get ranked or no?
At 5 and 4 right now, I don't know. I gotta look. See, I sit down at the end of Sunday and I go through all of my teams when I'm doing my bracket.
Make your poll.
And, make my poll.
Make that stupid poll where you put Montana State at number 2 and Montana.
Hey, I gotta call it how I see it. I get the resume, and the resume fair. Resume is fair, and obviously all of it will get worked out in the end. But from what I've seen from Montana State, they are better than the Grizzlies right now. I gotta be honest.
You think so, huh?
I gotta be honest, brother.
Where's my sticky notes?
You got some sticky notes?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me jot something down real quick.
What the hell are you about to jot down, bro?
Do you?
I said, what are you about to jot down right now?
Oh, I thought you said I know what you're about to jot down.
No, I said, what the heck are you about to jot down right now?
Oh, nothing.
I can't read that.
We can end the podcast, man. I just had to remind you of the O. I had to remind you of the O. Go Grizz, baby.